Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Monday, ba, da, 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 da. Time for the tabletop role-playing game news. Ba, 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 da, da, da. It's an excuse to say the word sextant. Ba, da, 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 da. What's up? Oh, yeah, man, I guess I'm stoned on cold medicine or something. It is a overcast Monday morning here in Ventura, California. It's 8:52 in the morning on this, the 15th day of January 2024. And I am your hyperactive host to all the tabletop role-playing game nonsense that is the OGGM, coming to you live since 2015 and still hasn't reached 2,000 subs. How y'all doing this morning? Hopefully you had a great Monday. Happy 3-day weekend. It is Martin Luther King, so for many of you, it's another day to goof off. But for some of us, it's another day to try and get away with using the word sextant. And speaking of words and plotting the course, what's the tabletop role-playing game news stories that we can focus on Monday to try and predict how the turbulent waters of the role-playing game vortex will affect us this week? Ars Magica has got a new edition coming out. Possibly one of the greatest fantasy role-playing games of all time that you've probably never played. Definitely considered by many to be the best magic system. Originally released in 1987, it's finally, after several years, coming out with a new edition. It will be under Creative Commons, maybe, which means people will finally be able to create product for Ars Magica. It is different. It is different. If you've never played Ars Magica and you're not familiar with it, it's a completely different way to look at gaming. Also, for product coming out, Troikia has got a free edition available if you're interested in the weird, wonderful acid fantasy world of Troikia, where you can play such characters as Poorly Made Dwarf and Spectral Lamassu. There's got a free edition available. It's using an embedded reader and a PDF. So if you've ever been interested in this, it's for free. Okay. Do it now. We've got some new news from Wizards of the Coast regarding the release dates for the 2024 product line. So let's go over to the Wizards of the Coast news site. So in case you're all curious, we finally have official dates for the 2024 product line. And those dates are TBD, 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 TBD. Oh, also TBD. Oh, that one too, TBD. I don't know what day of the week TBD is on, but it seems to be an exciting day for Wizards of the Coast 2024 D&D fans, because that's the day all the physical product is coming out. It's official. You might notice a bit of sarcasm in there. Yeah, being it's the third week of January, this is the biggest news story in tabletop role-playing game. It is the one thing the rest of the tabletop role-playing game world is teetering on the brink over what to do next. You know, we're the deers in the headlight analogy, like I used the other day. It's like, what do we do? Where do we go? What are you doing? And Wizards of the Coast is like, we're going to do something at some point in time, and it might be this year. Are they doing this on purpose to fuck with us? I mean, it could be. It could be like, hey, if we don't tell them when the product's coming out, they can't set their release schedule by our release schedule, right? So Tales from the Valiant can't go, hey, let's come out before D&D if we don't tell them when it's coming out. And somebody be like, oh, yeah, that's such a cool idea. That's so evil and manipulative. Yeah, we're totally going to control the market. Meanwhile, all the retailers are going, well, I'm not going to rent you space if you don't tell me when it's coming out. Give me a hint. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Are you sure it's coming out in 2024? You know what? I'm just going to put my attention elsewhere since you're being jerks about the release date. Yeah, I have a feeling that this is another thing that's going to blow up in their face. You know, and if I was a release, you know, like Tales from the Valiant or anybody whose product was ready, and I was like, I'm going to wait to see what they do. They don't do anything by the end of the month, I'd be like, I'm going to put it out now. It's ready. Fuck them. Put it out now. If you have a product that is ready to put out and you are waiting for Wizards of the Coast to announce the date, don't. Put it out while you can, buddies. All right. So thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for that wonderful release schedule. Is there anything else going on in the world of tabletop role-playing game this week worth our time and energy? How will these events shape the role-playing cosmos this week? It doesn't really look like there's much stuff coming out news-wise yet, other than the usual print news and charity bundles. This thing's getting a lot of press. They're claiming it's a role-playing game or role-playing game-like. So baby's introduction to role-playing using recognizable Disney characters. But other than that, we don't know a lot about it, but apparently it has some role-playing like aspects to it. So, Hero Quest, dungeon, that kind of stuff. You get a character that goes through the adventures, and that character can gather items and level up. We are still, of course, mourning the loss of our good friend Janelle Jaquez, the queen of the Mega Dungeon, who passed away from complications from Guillain-Barré syndrome. There is still a GoFundMe up if you want to help the family pay for the medical bills and expenses and stuff like that. We do know that there's some other stuff coming out mid-year that's been announced. We're talking August, September to celebrate the 50 years of D&D and the 5e 2024 product line, but not as many as you'd expect, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, what is it? It is the 15th day, so we're 3 weeks in. Now, it is a 3-day weekend, so I'm going to forgive them today for not, but there's nothing. No real announcements for celebrations for 50th anniversary. Nobody said, this year at Gen Con, we celebrate the 50th anniversary. The only thing close is a little blurb Luke Gygax put up last night on Facebook that he's working for a project to celebrate his dad's legacy with some other people, but it's separate from the Troll Lord Games stuff. So I don't know. I mean, at this point, if it's Troll Lord Games and they come out with something that's Gygax associated, then yeah, that's official. They're getting the stuff from the Gygax lawsuit. If Wizards of the Coast is going to sell off any D&D product, I would wish they would sell off the Greyhawk shit to Troll Lord Games, Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel. So Troll Lord Games can be the official home, but that doesn't have any connection with what Luke is releasing. So Luke Gygax is releasing something this year to celebrate 50 years of his dad's legacy. Other than that, our good friend and fellow General Grievous fan, RPG Grandma, is saying us. It looks like we're trying to get together an online 50th anniversary party to celebrate, which is cool. That's great. But yeah, no Gen Con, nothing from Wizards. We're not even going to mention TSR because, oh, dear God. Not even, by now you think there'd at least be some pop articles in like the press. Hey, it's this 50th anniversary of the world's most popular role-playing game, and nobody's talking about it. The only thing even D&D related that people are talking about are Ben Riggs's article, and whether they agree with it or disagree with it. I think most people disagree with your article, Ben Riggs. Sorry, buddy. And the destruction of Critical Role. Oh no, Critical Role isn't living up to our impossible standards, so fuck them. We fucking hate them. Even though we're the ones that place the standards on them, which are completely unapproachable. But goddamn them for not giving us the same stuff they gave us before, even though that never actually happened. We just put it in our brains. Hello, new name. So yeah, that's it. Oh, I think we're upset about tieflings this week, but that has nothing to do with 50th anniversary. Oh yeah. He was in regards to the golden age of 5e coming to an end. Absolutely. That is absolutely 100% true. If we, 2024 D&D and 2023 D&D will compete with each other. People will be forced to choose whether they're going to continue to create product for, 2023 D&D that they can under the Common Core, or wait to see what's happening with the 2024 D&D Common Core and what they can or cannot do under that new OGL. So obviously the biggest competition for D&D is D&D. But in regards to the cool factor that 5e has had and the mass rush of 5e embracing, whether it be real or I want to be cool, so yeah, that's coming to an end. I don't, because just why is it coming to an end? Because that timeline from 2000 and he says 2010. I'm gonna say 2000 and maybe whenever Stranger Things started, whenever Critical Role started, whenever Colbert was talking about 5e, was that 2010? I don't remember. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. And there's a huge sale in the DMs Guild of older products if you want to pick it up now. I mean, keep on the Borderlands for $4 PDF. So I agree that the 5e golden age is coming to an end, and that 5e awareness, coolness will never be as big as it was because there's just so many factors that happened, and you would have to be able to repeat them. And there's nowhere. I hope Bear's superhero game does good because it's time for SH game. I just released an SH game. Y'all know that, right? The third and final edition of the Wretched Vigilantes campaign setting. Links down below. But as for the golden age of role-playing, that ended in the 80s. And role-playing is going to go back to being what it was and has always been. A bunch of geeks sitting around at a table playing D&D, and then at another table there's a bunch of geeks playing Rifts, and at another table there's a bunch of geeks playing Pathfinder and whatever. That's fine. And that's the way it should be. Yeah, me too. I hope mine does good. It's apparently doing good. We'll see how well it does once the physical comes out. So that's the tabletop role-playing game news, or lack thereof. I would love to talk about the release dates and the plans that Wizards has for D&D, but for some reason they haven't told us. So either they're being manipulative and sinister and like, if we don't tell them, and then we drop it at the last minute, imagine the rush. Or they're being Wizards of the Coast, and they're just like, it was your job to tell them. No, we should tell them. We haven't told them yet. Now, if it was any other company, I'd go option A. Oh, yeah, they're totally waiting for the right moment to let us know. But because it's Wizards, I'm more likely to go option B. And it's just the usual Wizards' inability to maintain a coherent thought for more than 5 seconds before it turns into the gobbledygook that usually comes out of Wizards. I'm the world's first D&D architect. Derp. We don't know what we're doing. Apparently, we're just Wizards of the Coast. Release dates? We'll make them up. The Muppets were in charge. It'd be much better run than it is now. Dear God, my 7-year-old niece could run Wizards of the Coast better than we're seeing. We didn't know it was AI art again, after we specifically told you it wasn't AI art. Oops, I guess Faruka wasn't on site that day. Till next time, I have been your guide, singing his way through the Monday tabletop role-playing game news. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you never want to hear me do this ever again, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. If you're looking for some beginning of the year amazing tabletop role-playing game merch, link down below. Check out my stuff for Wretchedverse and more exciting stuff coming up. Till next time, see ya. And now, get off.